Or what you're breathing from the tailpipe exhaust. Or, I mean, there's any number of forms of pollution that are kind of forced upon you.
Yeah.
I mean, like here in Portland, it was an issue that came up, and I haven't heard anything about it since then. But very odd little detail that the gasoline that's being burned in the Portland area had benzene in it.
Oh, it had for years.
Yeah, for years it's had benzene in it, and
Yeah.
they did tests like actually really near the spot.
Yeah, yeah.
And where I-5 and 84 junction, that whole area is like highly toxic. Wyden made noise about trying to get it changed. I don't know if anything ever got changed, but you know, I think about the chemtrails and I think about how they can manipulate our environment
Weather modification.
with ease. You know, it's like, oh, let's just put an additive in gasoline. Well, that's pretty simple. They'll just be everywhere, you know.
Actually, what I've read is the additives in the gasoline is the industrial toxic waste that they can't get rid of. So they add it into the
That's very
gasoline
interesting.
and let us burn.
Just like fluoride.
Yeah.
Fluoride is an industrial waste product.
Yeah, from the production of aluminum, yes.
And well, I don't believe it's in our water except as it naturally occurs, but in most of the country,
It's like,
it's in the water.
it's not quite as completely dire as you say. It's like slightly less than half the states in the country do it, but it's the whole
There's
state.
a push now.
There is a push,
For
yes.
all states.
They're also-
to have their
Mhm.
water
They're also
fluoridated.
trying to put, and they have succeeded, put it in a lot of bottled waters. They put it in a lot of products for children.
For their teeth.
Yes, for their teeth. That's what they say. Sorry to digress, but we were mentioning the right-wing people at the Tea Parties and how they were saying Obama, you know, because I want to try to get a little bit more back to Obama, was a socialist. I think he's more like a fascist. I mean,
Right.
this New World Order crime syndicate, whatever title you want to use, I just stole out Alex Jones's, is so interesting to me because it's taken on aspects of fascism and communism, both. It's cherry picking some of the stuff out of some of the most oppressive types of governments we had. Like Mussolini's fascism was the state taking over the corporations. What the kind of fascism we're evolving into, what I see, is the corporations are taking over the state, but it leaves us in the same place. We've arrived at the same place. You know, it's very interesting. I mean, I just read and did some research on the 10 planks of the Communist Manifesto, and then started Googling and trying to find laws that correspond. And there's a lot of things that we practice in America that we think is part of our American system that are straight out of the Communist Manifesto. I mean, like a graduated or progressive income tax, absolutely essential according to Marx. An equal liability for all to work, basically, you know, a minimum wage. Like that kind of stuff is straight out of the Communist Manifesto. The raising of industrial armies, i.e. like having the military run industrial production. Well, through globalization, that lovely term, we get that from China, you know. I mean, and so on, and it goes on through the whole list. But I really suggest that you look at fascism and communism both, and compare things in our laws in our society, because we are being slowly, by color of law and by myth and cultural manipulation, adopting ideas out of communism and fascism. And it's weird. It's weird how people are unconsciously just going along with this stuff.
I kind of like the 8-hour day.
Really? Right on.
Just to do a little linguistic clarification.
I'm sorry.
I was watching The Horrible, Terrible Life, or The Wonderful, Terrible Life of Lori Rosenthal, or no, God, what was
Oh,
her
yeah.
name?
Well, whoop
The German woman who was the amazing Lenny.
Well, she changed it from a W to an
Well, in
R.
any case, the
Yeah.
bottom line is she was the filmmaker who did the
Arc of Triumph.
the Arc of Triumph, the Nuremberg photos,
And the athletic.
she had this outrageously long life and this kind of outrageous career overall. But it just came up again when they were interviewing her about her involvement with Hitler, when she was referring to it, she only referred to it as National Socialism. These words of Nazi and fascism are oppositional words placed on top of Hitler's movement. He called it National Socialism.
Right.
I mean, it was very close to communism, so it's not surprising that you're finding echoes of both going on, because it was similar. They were similar, and they are similar.
But Mussolini called his.
He called his
I know
fascist,
that
yeah.
He may have called his fascist.
Yeah, but you're right. But the Nazis
Yeah,
did.
they
National
were calling
Socialism.
it National Socialism.
I got this in the mail today, the Trade magazine.
What
What is it?
Obama?
He said anti-Obama, so the landscapers are anti-Obama.
Oh, can I hold
So
it?
that's
Hold it
kind of
still
cool.
there, Tim. Okay. Oh, that's cute.
So basically what it is fascism for the elite and communism for everybody else? Is that kind of what you're saying? Or
Kind
you
of,
know, like capitalism or democracy for the wealthy, and socialism for everybody else, like socializing all the losses and privatizing all the gains?
Exactly.
Is that
Well,
something
yeah.
like it?
Yeah, they're socializing what we owe and privatizing what we have. So it's kind of like an inside-out socialism. It's like taking all the good aspects of socialism, which are like, collective sharing of labor, collectivism, all those good, wholesome things that, like, maintain a sane environment with a large group of people, and erasing the good parts and just keeping the parts that suit the elites. It's very odd.
More like feudalism.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, to me, take a look at the difference between the, quote, communist or socialist, or in fact, I would say most West European countries are in fact National Socialist. Contrast those countries with the ostensibly communist China, and you realize that China would be doing a lot better if it was more National Socialist than communist, because in fact, when you look at the benefits to the individuals, Chinese have hardly any. There's hardly any safety net in China.
Right.
Whereas in Europe, there's a huge safety net. And that
So far.
so
So
far,
far, yeah.
yeah,
That's
so
being
far.
whittled- That's being whittled away
And that
too.
may be whittled away, because
All
I think
social
China
media.
is the bigger model, the New World Order.
Oh, sure.
But also
Absolutely.
with China, I've often wondered when I look at Russia and I look at China, and I've been following it, like China a little bit. There's this growing population of wealthy people
Right.
in China, and so at what point is
Hey.
communism capitalism?
Right.
Or,
Well-
or like what's really going on here? And
I think through internationalism, they're just using isms and ist against us, and it's more like what Cherry was saying. I mean, I really believe that it's feudalism. It's global feudalism, like she was saying so brilliantly. But
Ooh, did you guys hear that?
yeah.
Professor Cherry.
No, it's awesome. I was gonna sit there really quiet. There, I mean, I'll turn.